everyone, it's Leo, and in this video we are going to talk about the first episode of Fairy Ranmaru. I'm going to talk about my impressions, and I was super excited. This show is finally here. I was so curious, I was so interested, and there's a lot to say about this first episode, so let's start. Before I start talking about the episode itself, I want to talk about some technical things. I really think that this show is very pretty. Visually, it is stunningly beautiful in some parts and some moments. And even though I think that sometimes it lacks some creativity in how it should present itself, in other points, I really like it. For example, the opening. I love the opening. The song is very nice. The images are so well done. And the way the characters appear, in their human forms and in their fairy forms, I love it so much. The ending is also super, super pretty. I love the drawing. It's a very simple ending. It's just a drawing and the camera just goes like this on the drawing. Very, very beautiful drawing though. There's a little shibari going on with the characters there. But oh my god, so pretty, so artistic. Love it. And there's also the eye catch with Ranmaru, the main character. It's probably going to change with the other characters too. Love the eye catches as well. Let's talk about the episode. So at the start of the episode, we have some introductory scenes. And well, first episode, we need to learn about the characters. We need to learn about the story. I understand. But it was so much introduction at the start that I found a little weird. Before the introductions, we had an introductory scene which showed Ranmaru in its fairy form fighting, and he was like, "What is love? What the hell is love?" And it was like, what is going on here? I'm so curious to learn more about those characters and about this story. This episode made me very curious. This is a good thing. So then we had the first introductory scene that I considered an introductory scene with the queen summoning the best fairies from each of the clans. And I really like the names of the clans. It's not Fire Clan, it's Ignis Clan, for example. It is not Tree Clan, it's Arbor Clan, things like that. They make a little difference and I liked it. That scene was good, very good. It was a very good introductory scene because we could see a little bit of the personality of each of the characters. And I think that's an important thing. We establish a little bit about them right at the start. It's good. It's not that, I think they're not going to have very complex personalities or anything like that. So it's good that right at the start, the show already makes a point on how the characters are. And in the first scene, we are also introduced to the idea of the Lux clan, which are the light fairies, which are the strongest. And they seem to be more secret than the other fairies, because the other fairies were very impressed when they saw Ranmaru, which is the main character and also the main fairy, the light fairy, right? So they were impressed by him because, oh my god, the strongest tribe, the strongest fairies. So let's see if this is gonna lead us somewhere. I don't know. The butler of the queen makes it very clear for them that now they are a family. And that is an important word, it seems. They are a family now, they must work as a family. And they also have a mission, which is to get attachment from people on Earth. So they need to go after feelings, basically, I think. They don't even really know what attachment is, but we can see it in this episode already. And after that, we have another introductory scene with the boys in Bar F, which is the place it's their base on Earth, basically. It's a bar, and so they have their cards of their bar. So they go there, they eat curry for the first time. They've never been human, it seems. That confused me, and I'm going to talk about why. We have the other introductory scene, which is the 10 laws of the fairies. That scene could have been so much better because we learned the 10 laws of the fairies, and there are those type of laws. You can't fall in love with the opposite sex, you can't be angry, you can't resort to violence, you can't have lust, you can't have envy, things like that, very simple. But the scene itself was so boring with the black background and the white letters appearing, couldn't they have made it more interesting? But interestingly enough, Takara, which seems to be the oldest from the Metallium clan, he says that it doesn't really matter. What matters is that if you break one of the rules, you can't be found out. So you can break the rules, there's no problem, you just cannot be found out. And if you are found out, if they find out you break any rules, nothing big will happen. You just won't be a fairy anymore, you just have to live as a human. I don't know why we have those yet, but I feel like it has a lot to do with the names of the episodes. So the first law was Renai, which can be translated as romance, which is also the name of the episode and also the theme of this episode. Let's talk about why this confused me a little bit. This is supposed to be their first experience as humans, but they seem to know a lot about their experiences as humans already. At least Tanaka, right? Maybe Tanaka has been here before. The others, it seems to be their first time. They even say like, curry seems gross, but then they eat it, they like it. But then they go to school, and the only one that's introduced at school is Ranmaru, which is a transfer student. What about the others? The others, they've been there already? Aren't they new at this? Like, shouldn't they all be transfer students? Did you, is there an explanation for this, or did I miss something in the episode? Please tell me if I did, because I don't understand. Like, did they change the memory of everybody, so that the others could be part of the school? But if they did, why did Ranmaru have to be a transfer student? I don't understand it. So as I was saying about the laws, we have the first episode being called Romance, and the next episode is going to be called Wrath, which is the second law. So I think that we're going to have 10 episodes with 10 laws, maybe like episodes 11 and 12 to finish the story. I don't know. That's my guess. And interestingly enough, after that, we have the scene at school, so we can learn a little bit more of their personalities. Each of the boys, a little better. I think that the most important thing here is hypocrisy, because Tanaka was talking about the laws, and then he says, in one of the laws says that they can't have sex with the opposite sex, like very heteronormative, but at the same time, that's what we see him doing. Like, after he just said the laws, like that's what we see him doing. And wrath is another one of the laws, and violence, again another one of the laws. And we see Homura, which is the Ignis fairy from the Ignis clan, we see him resorting to violence. He seems to be a very angry person. He doesn't seem to have patience at all. So it's like, those laws don't matter that much. I think they're more important for the episode count and for the episode names and for the episode themes. So we have one random girl who was being bullied at school. She was receiving lots of horrible messages at her cell phone. There was a guy wanting to go out with her, and this guy broke up with another girl of the classroom who was the source of all of the bullying. And so basically she was the victim of the week who needed to be saved. There is someone very weird and mysterious who seems to hate love and love negative feelings. And this person is out to search for negative feelings. I don't know his role yet, but he's obviously the antagonist. And so we have a card of the bar, and Ranmaru gives the card of the bar to the girl. So it's like, if you need something, if you need your heart to be healed, come to the bar. She gets in a desperate moment and she almost does something bad to herself, but nothing happens with this card at all. Like, why did Ranmaru give her the card? There was absolutely no reason for that to happen. And I do understand that sometime after some episodes, we might see people going into the bar to resolve their problems. I get it. But this played no purpose in this episode at all. But then, there was a bath scene in this episode. It was extremely beautiful. And I'm not talking about the boys. I'm talking about the scenery itself. It was super beautiful, even though Tanaka is a hot man. He is a hot man. And then when the girl goes to do something bad to herself because of all the bullying she's suffering, Ranmaru already had this connection with her, and so he went on to save the girl, and a door opened and he was already there with her, and that was it. So we have the conflict of this episode being romance. And so she says, if I disappear, no one will care. And he says, I will. I want to save you. And so there was this connection between them. Was that love? I don't know. the episode didn't really make it clear, but I don't think it was. But that is another thing that made me very confused. Like, the boys, they didn't know what to do to get attachment. When Ranmaru got there with the girl, he knew exactly what to do. He kissed the girl, he transformed, and he started fighting. Like, there was no connection to whatsoever. He just knew what he had to do. Is it because he is from the strongest clan of the fairies, or isn't really something big behind it and I'm just trying to overthink things? But then, okay, he kissed the girl, he got her energy, and he started transforming. So we have a transformation scene. The transformation scene is pretty, but I think it lacks creativity. You know, after watching Precure for so many years, I think that this kind of sets the bar a little high when it comes to transformation of magical girls and boys, etc. And I don't think that this show did a great job in being a creative transformation. You know, we just have a regular transformation with the sleeves being done and then the shoes being done and then like mirroring. They do one arm and then they mirror to do the other, and then same with the shoes. It's okay. It's very beautiful. I love the background, the colors, and everything, but it's just simple. And then we go to the fight. But before the fight, there was another scene that I didn't understand why it was there. We see Ranmaru, or fairy, there is a special name for the fairy of illumination. Very, very beautiful name. And so we see him running. And then when he is running, the lyrics appear on screen and a song starts playing. It's probably his character song. And I love character songs. I love the idea of putting character songs in episodes. But I think there are better ways to do this, the way they did this in this, honestly. Like, it's just him running with a colorful background, which is pretty. You know, it is pretty. I think it is pretty. But at the same time, like, why was this scene there? Just for us to listen to the song? I think it could have put the song in the fight scene. But I don't know. It was just a pretty scene and I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but I liked it nonetheless. Even though I didn't understand its purpose, I still liked it. Visually, it's pretty. It's a show. It's like a performance or something. And then he creates wings at this moment and he flies to the fight. And the fighting scene, like the setting of the fighting scene is very interesting. It's very Madoka-esque. And the fighting scene itself was, I think, a little bit of a missed opportunity, because at some moments we could really see the fairy of illumination fighting, but very little scenes. And then like there were so many things on screen that he could have tried to do, but he was like really keen on trying to find the source of it, and we didn't really see him fighting that much. And I say this is a missed opportunity because the scene was so colorful. So many things could have happened in that fighting scene. It didn't. But the one thing that really bothered me in that moment was the other fairies were watching, but they didn't want to meddle in because they were wanting to see the strongest fairy, the fairy from the strongest tribe, fight. I get their resolution of doing this. I totally understand it. But he didn't do anything. Like, I mean, he saved the girl that he was trying to save. But it seems to me, at least, that it's like the basic thing they do. Like, one thing that he did was like, I think he pretended to be captured, but what he was doing was that he was actually capturing the girl who was creating all of this. And then he put her in the position of the bullied person. I think that was it. And then he ended up like getting a big key. It's like his final attack. Beautiful attack as well. I loved the animation. I love the fabulous pose he made after he unlocked her heart, and it seems like he purified her soul. I don't know. Very pretty. And then on the other day at school, like Ranmaru was a little conflicted. He was a little scared of seeing the girl that he kissed, and he helped her. But the girl arrived. She didn't even seem to remember what happened last night, which is okay. And then we see the girl who was creating all of the bullying around her, and now she is the victim of bullying. And I don't know if it's because I watch lots of kids shows, and usually those people, they just learn their lesson and they just stop doing, and they it's fine. But no, like this girl is being really punished by what she did. Like she is the one now. And the boys saw that and they didn't care about it at all. So it's refreshing. It was refreshing seeing that. So at the end of the day, I think that the first episode of Fairy Ranmaru was a little confusing, but at the same time, it was a treat. I really liked watching it. It was interesting. Oh, by the way, it ended with Ranmaru saying, asking himself, what is love? Just as it started. But it started in such a chaotic environment. Like, it was all bloody. They were fighting like big monsters and everything. And then it ended in peace, obviously. But I'm very curious. This show is making me curious. And I really liked this first episode, even though I had lots of criticisms for lots of parts here and there. What matters at the end is the entertainment value. And Fairy Ranmaru has the entertainment value. I was very scared that this show was going to be a parody, which usually magical boys are. They're just a comedy show with trying to be a parody of magical girls, with boys doing ridiculous things, but I don't think Fairy Ranmaru is this kind of show. Like, okay, you can say the poses, they're very over the top. Yes, they are, but I don't think they're trying to be ridiculous. They're just trying to be flamboyant. They're just trying to be colorful and fabulous. You can't deny it. Fabulous is a word to sum up Fairy Ranmaru, and I'm in for this ride. I am in for this ride, and I cannot wait for more. Thursdays are Fairy Ranmaru days from now on. Yes, I cannot wait for more. Bring it on. Let's keep watching it together. Anyways, everybody, I just want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinema channel. If you are a member, I really, really appreciate your support. I really appreciate that you are believing and you are liking the content that I do. Thank you very, very much. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Please leave a comment. Let's keep talking about the first episode of Fairy Ranmaru. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye!